I'm going shopping for stamps today, and I'd like you all to come along with me. I want to buy a Kiloware mixture. I thought that would give me a nice project to work on. And I'm going to visit Swan Philatelic Imports, who I've used before and I'm pleased with. And at the same time, I thought I'd give newcomers to buying online or buying Kiloware, or maybe haven't even heard of Kiloware. I'll just give a crash course in Kiloware. You can find Swan Philatelic Imports at swanstamps.com, and you can download their price list or just look at it online. So I think I'll move myself over a little bit so I have room to show the price list on my right. I'll give you a full screenshot of the price list first and scroll down from top to bottom. It's 3 pages. It's a 4-page price list, but the last page is all order form, and about half of the third page is shipping information. So anyways, here's the first 3 pages, and there are, as you can see, quite a few countries to choose from. We have Åland Island, South Africa. I'm not going to read off everything. You got Australia, Austria, British Africa, the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. They have British Commonwealth mixtures, Canada, Finland, France, Germany, Great Britain, Greece, Greenland, Ireland, Israel, Isle of Man. Now, oddly enough, they have Isle of Man and Guernsey, if you look a few lines up, but they don't have Jersey. There's Japan, Liechtenstein, Malta, Netherlands, Norway, and then moving on down to Slovakia, Switzerland, Thailand, and US and worldwide mixtures. There are, as you'll notice, a lot of countries not listed. And 2 in which I would have had an interest in are Portugal and Poland, but there are none. No mixtures for those 2 countries. So let's start with, what is Kiloware? Kiloware refers to large lots of stamps. A kilo is 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram. And these are how they're usually packaged. Some Kiloware can come in even larger packages of 4 pounds, 9 pounds, 10 pounds. But generally we're talking about 2.2 pound packages of stamps. And these stamps, for the most part, I don't want to even say for the most part because I don't know the ins and outs, but on Swan's price lists anyways, they seem to come from missions, charity missions, church missions, and such. And the mission workers, they naturally get mail from all over the world, and they make a little bit extra money by clipping the stamps off of their mail and then selling them in bulk to dealers like Swan. Sorry, I got an itch on my back. So Kiloware will naturally refer to used stamps, and usually postally used at that. However, not all used stamps will be postally used. Some are clipped from first day covers. Those will probably have originated from dealers who just buy collections of first day covers, and since those are impossibly slow to move, they just clip them and then sell them to bulk lot dealers like Swan. Stamps with first day cover cancels generally don't draw as much collector interest or value as postally used stamps. As you can see on, and you'll excuse me if I have to turn away, I have to look at my notes, but you can see on this one listing for Netherlands Antilles, it says it consists mostly of first day clippings. So those did not come from a mission, unless the mission is buying a heck of a lot of first day covers for some reason. And then there's two other major kind of subcategories of Kiloware. You have on paper and off paper. On paper refers to ones that come from the missions, where the mission workers have either torn off the stamps from the corner of the envelopes, or they've actually used scissors and clipped around the stamps. And then you have off paper. Now, off paper, missions, they don't have time to soak stamps and, separate them or, categorize them. So off paper stamps will likely have come from dealers who have broken up collections. They've cherry picked all the good stuff and then gathered up what's known in the stamp trade as floor sweepings, where they just gather up all the junk that they won't be able to sell separately, and they offload it to bulk dealers like Swan. So by nature then, off paper mixtures will likely have a much larger percentage of just junk and minimal value stamps. So personally I go with the extra work of soaking the stamps myself and buy the on paper mixtures. So as you can see, the mixtures come in various weights. You have 1 ounce mixtures, 4 ounce mixtures, 1 pound mixtures, and so on. And generally I like to go with 4 ounce mixtures because although the 1 pound mixtures are more economical, the 1 pound mixtures go for a little bit more than twice the cost of a 4 ounce mixture, even though you get 4 times as many stamps. However, that'll be just far too many stamps, far too much duplication than I want to deal with. So I like the 4 ounce mixture as a kind of a sweet spot. 1 ounce is too few stamps and allowing for duplication. You're just going to come up with very few different stamps in a 1 ounce mixture. Looking at my past videos and my notes, I can tell you what I received from 4 ounce mixtures and extrapolating from smaller mixtures. So for a 4 ounce mixture of Germany on paper, and from looking at my past video, episode somewhere around 17, 18, 19, this mixture had a lot of excess paper around it. They just ripped the corner off and you could see that much stamp on this much paper. But a 4 ounce mixture yielded me about 300 stamps. Now they also have what's called close clipped. I mean, where someone was careful about using the scissors to clip the paper off around the stamp, so you had this much stamp and only a very small margin of paper around it. That'll naturally give you many more stamps. To be precise, I got on close clipped paper, I got 600 stamps in 4 ounces. Although there's one more caveat on the on paper mixtures, is that you will notice Let me show you here. Finland. Okay, Finland, there's two mixtures, Fin 1 and Fin 2. Fin 1 says it's on single letter paper, and Fin 2 says it's on clipped double paper. Now what that means is if they're clipping the stamps off of the corner of an envelope, then you're going to have the normally the stamp is on the front of the envelope, but when they clip it off, it still has the back side of the envelope too. So you have, in effect, two corners with only one of them having a stamp on it, and you have that extra paper on the back. That's adding weight, but not adding stamps. So whereas Fin 2 is on double paper, it costs $25 for 4 ounces. Now those who, the Fin 1 is on single paper, so you're getting more stamps, and that costs $36 per 4 ounces. You can do the math, which one might be more economical. And then, since this is Kiloware, it's just random stamps, just all collected together at random. They're not sorted. You're going to end up with a lot of duplication. And from my past videos, I found that I can generally expect to find about 25% of the mixture will be face different stamps. So 75% of the mixture will be all duplicates. So then, as you all know, there's different types of stamps: definitives, commemoratives, semi-postals, whatnot. Somewhere along the line, I don't know if the Mission does it or if Swan does it, to be honest, but Swan has mixtures that are definitives only, commemoratives only, semi-postals only, and they will of course vary in price. Definitives being the most common stamp, the most widely used. They're, widely available. They're common as dirt, so they will be the cheapest. So here I have a chart showing well, I don't have a chart for you, but I can tell you that looking at, I'll take Germany as an example, since Swan has mixtures of all the various examples I just mentioned. So first off, let me point out that you will also see the letters HV in various listings. HV stands for high value stamps. That does not refer to high catalog value stamps, but high face value, the high denominations. And a high value stamp refers to any stamp that has a face value of more than the standard domestic letter rate. So for example, for Germany, that is 70 euro cents. So anything that has a denomination of over 70 euro cents is called a high value stamp. Those typically have higher catalog values too, and since they're not as abundant as the standard domestic letter rate stamp, the Kiloware mixtures are commensurately more expensive. So to give you concrete examples, for Germany, the cheapest mixture is WGR4, containing definitives only, and those are $8 for 4 ounces. If you like, looking for color varieties, fly specking, looking for minute plate flaws or plate values, this could be a good value for you to get 600 stamps or more for $8. The second cheapest stamps are commemoratives only, and those aren't much more. They don't cost much more than the definitives only $10 for 4 ounces. The next level up in cost wise is the German mixture labeled WGR8, and that consists of high face value commemoratives only. And they're not much more than the regular commems only at $12 for 4 ounces. Then the next level up, the second most expensive mixture, is semi-postals only. And they have the notation in there with some round cancels. So round cancels refers to the CDS, the circular date stamp. So you will get cities and dates included on some of the stamps. I don't want to say many because I don't really know what proportion will have CDSs on them. But those climb up to $18 for 4 ounces, 50% more than the high value commemoratives. And that's because semi-postals are generally more, have higher catalog values than regular commemoratives. One reason being that if you go to the post office to mail your letter that you need a stamp, you're more likely to buy a regular commemorative rather than pay an extra cost for a semi-postal stamp. A semi-postal stamp, for those who may not know, is a stamp that contains 2 values on it: the regular letter rate and extra surcharge. So it might, for Germany, it might say 70 euro cents plus 10 cents. And that 10 cents is the surcharge you pay for a charity. It'll go to a children's welfare fund. So naturally, especially if you're frugal, you'll buy a commemorative before you buy a semi-postal. So there are relatively fewer semi-postals on the market, and you pay a higher amount for semi-postals. And then the most expensive mixture is semi-postals only, all of them having circular date stamps on them. The other ones, the previous ones, where some of them are circular date stamps, the rest will have either just the wavy line cancels, or a slogan cancel or a pictorial cancel, but it won't include the city or the date. So the most expensive mixture is a semi-postal mixture with only circular date stamps. But you're not guaranteed to have a city and a date on each one of those either. You might get one or the other, or actually Germany's pretty good about having fairly well-centered circular date stamps, and there will probably be a good portion of those that will include the city and the date on it. And a mixture like that costs $27.50 for 4 ounces, and that's compared to $18 for a semi-postal mixture with some CDSs. So you can see there's a pretty good premium placed on circular date stamps. A lot of mixtures will contain decades of years included in them, from the year 2000 going back to the 60s. Whereas you'll see some listings that specify that they contain newer stamps from the year 2000 and up. For example, look at France FRN1, and it says it contains only euro-denominated stamps up to the year 2022, and the euro came in around the year 2000, 2001. So you're guaranteed, it says euro only up to 2022. So if you're looking for modern postally used, that would That's what you want to look for. Finally, at the bottom of the price list, you'll see they have worldwide mixtures. And these will be mixtures that have been just weighed out strictly as it came from the mission, containing worldwide stamps. However, there's two categories of those. Some will be from foreign missions, like say in this case WOR 6, it's from a German mission. Now, if it's from a mission from a foreign country, it's going to include a lot of U.S. stamps. Whereas if it's from a U.S. mission, it's going to have very few U.S. stamps, and it'll be mostly foreign worldwide stamps. And for that reason, the stamps from U.S. missions, the mixtures from U.S. missions cost more than the ones from foreign missions. As you can see, from a German mission, it's $13 for 4 ounces, whereas from a U.S. mission that says very little U.S., it's $20 for 4 ounces. So that about covers all the instructions you need to know about how to read the price list and what to know about buying Kiloware. So what do I want to buy? Well, I decided, collection creep again. I've said in the past I'm just sticking to Germany, older Germany, Portugal, and my classic era U.S. But I can't help myself. It's fun soaking stamps, and one country I really like is Norway for their modern stamps, especially their bird issues. And previously, before we moved to Portugal, I had started a 21st century postally used Norway collection. And when we left, that was part of the bunch of stamps that I got rid of in order to minimize what we brought to Portugal with us. So I'm kind of nostalgic for them now, and I'm going to take that up again. I want to do a 21st century postally used Norway. And another reason I like Norway is that there's not a lot of stamps to collect compared to other countries. For example, in the year 2020, they issued only 13 separate issues of stamps with 24 stamps total. So, looking at the price list, Swan has 2 Norway mixtures, NOR1 and NOR3. I don't know what happened to NOR2, but NOR3 is an older mission mix with many large and commemorative stamps. But the key word there is an older mission mix. It's going to have many stamps from before the year 2001. And when I say 21st century stamps, I don't include the year 2000 because years ending in 0 are the 10th year of a decade. So the first year of a decade starts with 01, and the first year then of a century starts with 01. So I'm collecting from 2001 onward. And mixture number NOR1 has large and commemoratives only on single paper and many high values. Most of them are from 2017. Most of them are from 2007 to 2018, so it checks all the boxes for me. That'll be $28.50 for 4 ounces, plus $4 shipping. Swan charges $1 an ounce for shipping to a maximum of 10 $10. Now let's see, a 4-ounce mixture, well, it's going to also have a shipping envelope, so it's going to be over 4 ounces for shipping. So let's just call it 5 ounces for postal purposes. So it's $28.50 plus $5 for shipping. So for $33.50, I'll get 4 ounces of stamps, which should, as I mentioned earlier, for 4 ounces of close clipped, comes to about 600 stamps. If I take my presumed 25% face different, that'll come to 150 different stamps. However, since Norway has so few different issues during the year, I expect that percentage to be a little lower. So instead of 150 different stamps, let's just call it 100 different stamps. Yeah, and for $33, that comes to 33 cents a stamp, which I don't consider excessive for a Norway mixture containing many high values, because considering that if I only get 100 different stamps, that still leaves me with 500 extra stamps, 500 duplicates, which I'll just list on my hip stamp store and just, make a little extra money there to offset the cost of the keepers. So anyways, I'm satisfied with the price to value ratio. So that's going to then require a soaking project, soaking and drying the stamps to remove them from the backing paper. And I went online to look for a Shogard Desert Magic drying book. And for those of you not familiar with that, it's a spiral bound book that has blotting paper in it, where you can, after you soak your papers off, you stick them on the blotting paper. The Desert Magic book has 7 pages of blotting paper, so you just fill up your 7 pages with stamps, close the book. Might place a Scott catalog or some other weight on it just to make sure that they do dry nice and flat. And so I went online. I went on to Amazon to look up the Desert Magic books, and I was shocked, I tell you. The last time I bought one was in 2020, June 2020. So 6 years ago, I bought one for $13.38 plus tax with free shipping. The same book now on Amazon by the same vendor, Wizard Coin Supply, is $23. And look at this. On the left side, you can see the price history on Amazon. Just 1 month ago, that same book was in the $13 range that I paid for it 6 years ago. And then all of a sudden it spiked up to $23. I don't know what's up with that, because now look at this. I went to eBay, and here's the same book by the same vendor, Wizard Coin Supply, and now it's only $14.49 with free shipping. So I don't know what kind of a business strategy that is for a business to have, but I found a better deal. Instead of this small size book is half the size of a regular letter page, 8.5 by 11. This is 8.5 by 5.5. I decided to go with the full-sized letter page book that is 8.5 by 11, and you can see I found one for $15.98, just $1.50 more than the smaller one. Yet you have the same number of pages, but they're twice as big, so you can handle twice as many stamps, as if you couldn't do the math. So As you can see, there's only 5 available, but not anymore. I went ahead and ordered one, so there's 4 available. If you want one of these, you better hurry. Oh, and needless to say, I ordered that Norway mixture from Swan. So hopefully they'll come at about the same time. And when they do, I will make a video showing you what I found, what I got. So stick around to see what happens. And until then, this is Ted the Talking Stamp Collector saying, don't worry, be stampy.